This is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. How would you like to make juice once a week and store it for up to a week, right? That's what this kit I'm going to show you guys can help you do. It can help you remove up to 85% of the oxygen out of the headspace, as well as the dissolved oxygen in the fresh juices you make, the vacuum blended smoothies you make, even dry goods or even fresh fruits and vegetables that you store in any wide mouth mason jar. So today I want to introduce you guys to the Pure MVP pump. This is the maximum vacuum pressure pump that removes the most oxygen of any of the different pumps that I've tested and used over the many years. Also, unlike these other inexpensive Chinese-made plastic pumps, this is made out of one piece of aluminum, so it's metal, designed really well, is the easiest to pull up. Wow, that's really easy to pull up, as well as will remove the most vacuum. In addition, besides the vacuum pump, there'll be a kit that you could buy with also the stainless steel vacuum lids that are very important, which we'll discuss in a minute. A little release tab so you could easily remove the vacuum off your jars, as well as a specially designed adapter. And here's the thing, guys, when you guys make a juice, you guys just fill it to the brim, cap it off, put it in your fridge. The issue is the dissolved oxygen. The dissolved oxygen that's not only in the juice but in the headspace reacts with the antioxidants in the juice to lower the nutrition. In addition, because of the oxygen in there, bad bacteria could grow and cause your juice to go off and spoil more quickly. So when you take this Pure vacuum adapter, put it on your mason jar, wide mouth mason jar, drop this in there and literally just pump it up a bunch of times, right? What's happening is you're sucking the excess oxygen out of the juice as well as the headspace. This is very easy to pull. If you just pump this up or pull it up about 10 times, you'll get maximum vacuum pressure on there and the amount of air is released. Then you're going to want to go ahead and pull this little tab. Releases the vacuum. You could remove this, and you guys can see our lid is now locked on top so that even if we tip it over without a trim ring, it's not coming out. And this is really not game-changing technology because, you know, I've been teaching you guys about storing your juices as well as other foods under vacuum for many years now. The game-changing technology right here is this pulls the most vacuum or removes the most dissolved oxygen out of the juice as well as a headspace or frankly out of any mason jar. So they've basically made improvements to make it more powerful. And right now I'm going to go ahead and put my money where my mouth is. So what we're going to do is, you know, these are some of the pumps that I've used and that I currently own over the many years. So we're going to go ahead and take a test rig. This actually test rig tests the vacuum on any of the pumps. And so what we're going to do is we're going to test pump by pump and show you guys how much vacuum is pulled. And then at the end, we're going to go ahead and use the Pure MVP pump to show you how much oxygen it can remove. So first pump, this really inexpensive, cheap pump. And as I pump it, you'll see this little gauge move up. And at a certain point, the gauge will no longer move because this pump has reached the capacity of how much oxygen it can evacuate. And if we go ahead and look at the gauge, it looks like this pump removed approximately 50% of the oxygen. So, you know, not bad, but definitely not too good. Let's go ahead and reset the gauge. Let's go ahead and try this pump next. This one's a lot harder to pump, guys. All right, I think we got maximum vacuum. This pump, you guys could see, not bad, removed like 81% of the oxygen. Not too shabby. Let's go ahead and next use this pump here. Oh, this pump broke on me. So, I mean, that's the issue with a lot of these plastic pumps. They're really cheap and they could break. So, let's go ahead and pull this manually and see what we got. This one really was not good. Only pulled maybe like 45% of the oxygen out. Next up, this has been traditionally my best pump. Reset the gauge. The issue is, once again, plastic pumps, they break. So we could just pull it like this and pull it. And this one is really hard to pump, guys, especially when there's no handle. Actually, not bad. This one got maybe like 75% oxygen removal. Next up, this is the current pump that I have been using before I got the Pure MVP pump. And once again, this is a lot more difficult to pump because it's a fatter diameter, so you have to move a lot more air, and it's just really not a well-designed pump. But nonetheless, you could pump it a bunch. And let's see how much oxygen we removed. Not bad. We removed like 82% oxygen with this plastic pump. So clearly, generally the larger the pump, the better it worked. Next up, I know some of you guys are lazy and don't want to use hand pumps because they're very difficult to pull, especially if they're not designed properly. We have an electric pump here, so we're just going to go ahead and put the electric pump on and press the button. These work very slowly because the diaphragm's really small, but as you guys can see, it's removing more and more oxygen. These also may take some time. I guess the main thing is that they're slow. They don't pull as much oxygen out, but you know, they're like a lot less work. All right, we maxed this one out. This one maxed out at actually 60% oxygen removal. So you guys can see, so far we've ranged from 50% oxygen removal minimum, 60 on up to like 82 with my plastic pump. Another thing that's been really popular lately is these things that you basically buy a pump with the jar adapter, so you can just basically put it on top of a jar and press the button and have it suck it out. The issue with these, once again, is that these are electric pumps like this, a little bit different form factor. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on, and we could go ahead and take this one apart, and we could put this on the top to test to see how much this pump can pull out. All right, so it's going. So let's see where this finally will max out at. All right, shut off automatically. Let's see how much oxygen was removed with this electric pump. Actually, you can see, not bad, not good either. Looks like we got 61% oxygen removal on this big contraption electric pump. You know, surely guys, if you guys want to go cheap and cheap out and buy one of these cheap ones, you can, but know this, you know, the more oxygen you pull out, the longer your juice is going to stay fresh, or the longer any item you're trying to store under vacuum, whether it's dry goods or fresh goods in your fridge, will store. So for example, you know, 85% oxygen removal is a lot more oxygen removal than say 50% oxygen removal. At 50% oxygen removal, there's still oxygen floating around in there that then will not allow you to store your juice as long. It will also degrade more quickly and be more prone to bacterial growth and contamination. All right, so let's go ahead and reset this, and now let's go ahead and use our Pure MVP pump. Cool thing about the Pure pump, we only need to pump it a maximum of 10 times, and it's really easy to pump. Let's see, I can pump it with 2 fingers. All right, we got it 10 pumps. Let's see where we're at. Look at that, maxing out the dial here. All right, looks like we maxed it out about 82 percent oxygen removal, definitely as good as the plastic pump. So yeah, so maximum oxygen removal, you could get the cheap plastic pump. Once again, my link down below to my Amazon shop to get this very pump here. That being said, this pump has no warranty, and it seems like every month or two I'm having to buy a new one actually because I break it and the seals go bad. That being said, the Pure pump has a lifetime warranty on non-wearable parts. The cool thing about this, number one, it has a very well-designed gasket. The gasket on the cheap one you would buy on Amazon is basically more plastic than silicone. It looks like this. And while it does seal, it's not super optimal. This is definitely going to make a better seal for you. In addition, this one can be taken apart to clean, and you can see literally the high quality construction. It has double seals, double O-rings on pump here, as well as, recesses where the air will be drawn out, whereas, there's no such design on the cheap, inexpensive pumps. As you guys can see, this is precision machined as well, so that makes it a lot easier to pull for you because it's just properly designed. So, if you're really not that strong, this pump is a lot easier to pull up and down than the plastic pump, especially if you get juice up your plastic pump and it starts to not pull right. This is way easier. Also, as you guys can see, there's four recesses or holes in the top to help pull the air out, whereas on these plastic pumps, there's actually two smaller holes. So really, if you guys want to remove the most oxygen out of your juices, I would encourage you guys to get this kit. Don't delay. They are currently on an Indiegogo campaign, linked down below, bit.ly/puremvp to save 20% off during the Indiegogo basically funding campaign to get this off the ground. And if you do this within the first 2 days, you're going to get an extra 5% discount. So I encourage you guys, if you guys are going to get this within the first 2 days. You're going to save the most money on this kit. And of course, once this kit comes out for real, you won't get these discounts. Now, the other thing besides just the pump that you're going to get with this kit is you're going to get a few different accessories. So number one, I showed you guys that adapter kit. You're going to get this adapter so you could basically seal the lids, any lids, whether it's the Pure lids that I'm showing you guys today, or even the ball lids that come with mason jars on top of a mason jar, the flat lids. And you guys can see, basically Pure designed this because they wanted to make it easy for you. This is like the standard food saver adapter that most people use, and there's so many different knockoffs. And the problem with this is that if you put it on the jar, then you got to basically line this up, and as you're lining this up, it could tip and come off. So it's really not designed for this. It was designed to put in a little tube in there to use the Food Saver electric vacuum sealer appliance that will pull up, based on my testing I did last, it pulled about 10 inches of mercury, which is approximately as much as this pump, so it'll remove only 50% of the oxygen. All right, so this is how the Pure designed adapter is better, because actually you could see it has a recess. So literally what happens is you could fit this pump inside here so it's nice and stable so it won't tip. It almost sits in there like that. In addition, when you need to pull this off, you just have to basically pull it off with this. They have a little vacuum unlock here with a little valve, so you can let the vacuum back in, so it's easy to pull this accessory off. And this is once again how it works. You put this on there and you pump it, you hold this down and you pump it simply like 10 times. And then what's going to happen is you're going to press this, let the vacuum off, and then you could remove the lid, and now your jar is under vacuum. Very important, once you remove the vacuum, you do want to store this in a cold fridge. I like to store it between 33 to 35 degrees for up to a week. Link down below to my complete video where vacuum is one of the many elements of storing your juices, but there are others I will share as well. So yeah, Pure designed a much better adapter than the Food Saver that you also get with this kit. The final thing I want to talk about is you get these specially designed lids. So I've been using a ball flat lid that comes with mason jars. You have to use like a little bottle opener to get them off because they're really stuck down there and you're gonna break nails and it's gonna be really hard to pull it off. So then you basically do this to get it off. And the problem when you do that, it's like a bottle opener. You're literally nicking the mason jar lid and you're gonna damage it because there's so much vacuum on there. In addition, these bend really easy and break. That's why Pure said, hey, we gotta fix this. We've designed our own lid. Now Pure's own lid solves 3 different issues with mason jar lids. Number 1 issue with the mason jar lids is, number 1, they're very thin, right? The Pure lid is 4 times thicker using 304 stainless steel, which brings me to point 2. Older lids contain BPA. In addition, these contain paint and are tin, so they're not the safest material that you should be using to store your juices. Whereas, you know, with this, you're storing your juices against stainless steel. The third and final, and this is actually one of the most important, many people don't realize this, is that the mason jar lids have this red gasket. What you guys don't know is that mason jar lids are designed to be used for canning purposes. To be used once for canning, you pull it off and then you need to buy a whole new lid, because these gaskets were not designed to be taken off, put on, taken off, put on, especially under vacuum. When you do that, you could maybe use them about 6 times, and then the lids the gaskets flatten, the materials flatten, and then they'll no longer hold a vacuum. So then you'll vacuum them, you'll think they're under vacuum, you'll come back, and then they're totally like released because it's not sealing anymore because the gasket basically wore out. They're not designed to be reused multiple times. So once again, Pure designed the silicone gasket material that could be reused indefinitely, that will give and flex and will seal every single time, right? So they're really solving several issues here. Not only did they make it 4 times thicker, so you're not going to bend it, destroy it when you remove it. Not only is it going to be food safe with stainless steel, and finally, of course, that gasket can be reused multiple times, literally forever. So this is probably, these are the last lids you'll need to buy. Once again, we could put their lid adapter on top and just, once again, use their vacuum pump and just pump it 10 times very quickly and easily. And lift the whole contraption up, and you guys can see we have a sealed lid on there with up to 85% oxygen removed. Alright, so I think that's actually all I want to share with you guys today, is just the best doggone vacuum pump for the most oxygen removal of any pump I've tested. Once again, pulls the most oxygen. Number 2, durable, lifetime warranty. It's the last pump you'll buy, fully serviceable. You could take it apart, clean it. Well designed. Actually, I had requested that David look into making these pumps because I was really frustrated with keep breaking the plastic pumps and the cheap pumps that I know a lot of you guys are buying, whether it's an electric one, you know, like these, or whether it's one of these cheap ones that are really more difficult to pull. You got to be super strong. He's designed it, engineered it so that you could pull it up very simply and very easily. Designed really well, and also even improved on the lids as well as the jar sealer. And of course, you also have the little tool to get your lids off. That works super easily. So you guys are only gonna have one chance to score the biggest discount on the Pure MVP kit during the first 2 days of the launch. Use, once again, that link down below, bit.ly/PureMVP for the most savings. And if you missed the first 2 days of launch, you could still use that link, bit.ly/PureMVP, to save 20% off your purchase. And of course, when you guys use that link, not only will you assure yourself that you will get the lowest price on the Pure MVP pump, but also Pure will share a little bit of commission with me so I can continue to make these educational videos for you guys, to share with you guys the nitty-gritty, the truth about storing juices as well as other fruits and vegetables and dry goods so that it can store longer for you guys because this is a lifestyle I lead. I seriously use the pump in my daily life every single day. So me, for one, I'm just so happy that Pure made a pump so I don't gotta keep buying cheap Chinese crap that ends up in the landfill with a lifetime warranty. So thank you, David, and I hope you guys secure your pump now so you guys could have the best doggone vacuum pump that I found. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. More importantly, be sure, guys, to share this with other people that are into juicing, into making and storing their vacuum blended smoothies or vacuum blended dressings or other different dry goods and wet goods in their fridge or out. I've used this to store freeze-dried fruits. I've used this to store heat-processed produce. I've used this to store so many different things, and it always extends the storage from 2 to 4 times longer. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes upcoming every 5 to 7 days. You're going to know where I show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell to get notified as my new videos come out. And also, be sure to check my past episodes. The past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 800 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to teach you guys all about the different appliances and kitchen tools that allow you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables at home. So with that, my name is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.